Our story begins with the Vice President of the United States arriving in Los Angeles. His entire convoy was rolling through the city, accompanied by numerous federal agents. Agent Choi noticed a device with one of his colleagues. The moment he saw it, he immediately recognized what it was. Meanwhile, on another front, a separate team of agents was waiting outside City Hall for the Vice President's arrival. Special Agent Mia had come here to deliver some equipment to the Vice President. But suddenly, a homeless man appeared on the street. Security personnel ordered him to move away. Instead, he launched an attack with his gun. The attacker detonated one of the vehicles in the Vice President's convoy with an explosion. At that very moment, another blast went off right where Agent Mia was positioned. And the driver of Choi's car suddenly opened fire on everyone around him. Choi shot him dead. He was the only survivor. The attackers closed in and began killing the agents. Choi's partner told him to take the device and get out of there. Mia also fled the scene with her partner and her device. Choi escaped through the chaos. He grabbed a phone from a woman passing by on the street and contacted General Marshall. He informed him about the attack. The general asked if his partner had the football. Choi replied, "I got it." The general immediately initiated Protocol Whiskey Mike Delta. This was their highest threat level protocol, reserved for situations involving weapons of mass destruction. A man named Anderson could see the smoke rising from the attacks through his window. The moment he caught the news report, he contacted the higher base. Anderson was actually the housekeeper of a safe house. He learned that this was a Whiskey Mike Delta situation, and 3 people were heading to his location. Following closely behind Choi, Mia and her injured partner Reeves arrived at the safe house. Anderson grabbed a gun from inside. Mia explained that her partner Reeves had been injured in a chemical explosion. Anderson used a sniffer to identify the chemical. It was non-lethal. Reeves had suffered burns from it. Mia pulled medicine from the fridge and gave it to him. But suddenly, the gate started beeping. Anderson was confused because he'd only been informed about 3 guests. However, this next man also had the proper authorization code. So Anderson opened the door. But someone else slipped inside along with him. This man, Sorello from Homeland Security, immediately drew his weapon on everyone. After what had happened outside, he didn't want to trust anyone. But then, from behind, Officer Halton aimed his gun at him and ordered, "Put your gun down." He questioned, "Since when is a revolver standard at Homeland Security?" Sorello lowered his weapon. The 2 men showed each other their IDs. Mia introduced herself. Halton knew Choi. He was aware that Choi was part of the Vice President's team. Halton spoke with Anderson. Halton mentioned that he'd spent time at this location before. Choi said, "I need to get to a secured phone line now." Anderson provided him with the secure line. But Choi would speak alone. He contacted General Marshall and asked about the Vice President, who was currently airborne. Choi updated Marshall about the other agents who had arrived. Marshall told him, "Don't tell anyone about what you have. We will get a team to you soon." Choi clearly had some kind of extremely powerful device in his possession. And suddenly, beeps started sounding throughout the safe house. Marshall spoke to all the guests, instructing them that all agents were to follow protocol. When they asked if there was any indication when the order would be lifted, Marshall said, "None." He told Halton to pick up the handset. He told Halton something that left him stunned. And at that moment, the lights in the safe house went out. All of them were locked inside. Only a few lights and appliances were running on battery backup. Even the safe house's signals had been jammed. It was as if they themselves were the enemy. And then Halton spoke. "Yes, they think that one of us is the enemy. Command traced the detonator signal from today's attacks to here. They think that one of us is the bomber. And all of them would remain here until the bombers surrendered." Everyone began to suspect each other, asking different questions, demanding answers. Sorello accused Choi of hiding something and aimed his gun at him. That's when Reeves came up from behind. Choi snatched Sorello's gun and turned it on him instead. Outside, chaos had erupted across all of Los Angeles. Police and bomb squads were spread out everywhere throughout the city. Meanwhile, inside the safe house, Mia and Reeves were discussing how the attack on them was clearly a targeted strike. Reeves told Mia that they needed to tell everyone else about their device, about what they had. Because they needed allies if they were being targeted. So Mia revealed to everyone that she worked as a developer in the Department of Defense's Special Projects Division, and Reeves was her associate in the Secret Service. They had been working on a new assignment for the past 9 months, which they were supposed to hand over to the Vice President today. This was a device that could only be unlocked using Mia's eyes. Today, they were meant to lock it to the Vice President's eyes. The device was so secure that if Mia died, it would detect that her pupils were mid-dilated. But even when Sorello pressed her, Mia wouldn't tell him what the device actually did. However, they needed all the agents' help to keep it secure. Mia and Reeves had told the others just enough to get them off their backs. Halton asked Choi about his secret. Halton and Choi had worked together before. But still, Choi didn't want to tell him anything. Then Sorello walked over and said, "So, have you admitted that you're working with the North Koreans?" Choi replied, "I'm Chinese American." Choi told Sorello that in this house, he was at the very bottom of the food chain. Anderson also said, "This isn't the time to be holding back intel." But Choi didn't want to tell anyone anything. And suddenly, they came under attack. Several men broke in through the windows. Gunfire erupted between everyone. Mia and Reeves also came down from upstairs. These attackers even had bulletproof vests. One attacker tried to steal Choi's device. Mia noticed something on one attacker's handheld screen. Everyone was fighting the attackers. The moment Halton shot one attacker dead, that attacker exploded a few seconds later. Another attacker shot Reeves. Reeves died on the spot. Choi grabbed that attacker and threw him out of the building. He also exploded the moment he hit the ground. This meant these bombs were connected to their heartbeats. And because of these explosions, their entire surveillance room was destroyed. Mia couldn't handle Reeves' death. Somewhere deep down, she had loved him. She went off alone and started crying uncontrollably. The others looked out the window. The governor had evacuated all of Los Angeles. Martial law had been declared. Inside the safe house, one attacker hadn't exploded because his trigger mechanism had been hit by a bullet. Halton asked Mia if she'd seen anything on his tablet. Mia said she couldn't remember. When everything happened so fast, the details got very fuzzy because of the explosions. Choi said, "Those details got your partner killed." Mia got angry at Choi. "You're the one hiding things, not me." Anderson told them both to calm down. So Choi aimed his gun at Anderson. He said, "That is my last warning to everyone here." After that, Mia treated Anderson's wounds. Anderson apologized about Reeves. He asked, "Is this the first time you lost someone?" Mia told him, "I served a tour in Iraq before I joined DoD." Anderson had served in the Marines. Mia explained that in Iraq, her platoon was hit with an IED. When Anderson asked her to tell him more, Mia shared more details about that incident. Even back then, Mia couldn't save her colleague. Anderson had also lost his sister. But suddenly, loud beeping sounds started blaring throughout the safe house. They all rushed into the holding room. The attackers had hacked the system to do this, to gather them all in one place so they could break in from another direction. All the agents grabbed their guns and started searching for the attackers. One attacker grabbed Anderson. Another grabbed Choi. A third attacker shot Sorello. Choi shot the attacker in front of him and got out of the room. The attacker exploded. Halton slammed one attacker against the wall and knocked him unconscious. Anderson checked him. He wasn't even wearing any explosives. They checked to see where exactly these attackers had come from. Mia tried to go up, but there were traps set up ahead. They couldn't escape through this route. Sorello asked Anderson how he didn't hear all of this happening upstairs. Anderson didn't answer. Instead, he turned the question back on Sorello, asking him what his job was. Now they were going to interrogate this attacker. Mia injected an accelerant into him because it would make him talk. Then Mia's attention fell on the backup battery connected to the fridge. Mia said she could try removing this backup and connecting it to the supply room. Mia was in the middle of doing this when the attacker woke up. Halton tried to talk to him. Halton spoke to him in Russian. From the attacker's reaction, he understood that he was Russian. But the attacker wouldn't answer any of his questions. Sorello came over and started torturing him. Sorello was so brutal with the attacker that Anderson couldn't even watch. He asked, "Is this the protocol?" Sorello started torturing the attacker with an electric taser. Mia didn't like it either. She told Halton, "Let me in." Mia went inside and stopped Sorello. Halton called Sorello outside. Mia gave the attacker water and asked him, "Who are you?" When the attacker didn't answer, Mia hit him with the taser. The attacker said, "My mission is my name. My name is my mission." This attacker knew everyone's names: Mia, Reeves, Choi, Anderson, Halton. He said, "You are here for a reason. We separate you to contain you here. You are fish in a barrel." These attackers had so much knowledge about these agents that they even knew about Mia's fling with Reeves. Mia angrily tasered him. She threatened to give him the full injection, demanding, "What are you planning?" The attacker laughed and said, "It's already in motion." So Mia angrily injected him. And right then, Anderson rushed in to stop her. Taking advantage of that moment, the attacker swallowed cyanide. Everyone yelled at Anderson, "What did you do?" He was about to talk. But then they spotted a bomb on the attacker's body. Everyone ran outside. Sorello said, "I figured out who's working with them." He aimed his gun at Anderson. "Why did you run in when he was about to tell the truth? And you checked his body. So where did that bomb come from? And you didn't hear what was going on right above your head?" Anderson replied, "But Sorello, I saved you during the attack, and you still don't trust me?" Sorello loaded more bullets into his gun. When he fired a blank shot, Anderson angrily said, "I gave the warning when they were outside the window. I saved all of your lives. But everyone thinks that I'm a throwaway." He said, "Shoot me." Then Sorello showed that the gun was empty. Halton told Mia to take Anderson's gun, take him upstairs, and cuff him. After that, Halton told Choi, "These attackers know more about us than we do. So it's time you tell everyone what we're really dealing with." Halton said, "Tell them about the nukes." He added, "God forbid something happens to one of us. They're going to need to know what the hell is going on." So Choi told everyone that there are 2 active footballs on this planet that have direct operational access to America's nuclear arsenal. One of them is with POTUS and the other with the Vice President, which is now in Choi's possession. But to activate it, they needed gold codes. And that's when Mia revealed that her device generates gold codes. This meant that after the first attack failed, the attackers deliberately trapped them all here. None of this was a coincidence. The Vice President wasn't the target. They were. Mia quickly connected the backup battery from the supply room. She started watching the security cam footage to see what happened before they arrived. Suddenly, beeping sounds started coming from the safe house door. The attackers blasted through and broke inside. Gunfire broke out between everyone. Sorello got severely injured. Anderson told him, "Uncuff me. I can help you. Trust me." So Sorello released Anderson. But instead of helping Sorello, Anderson shot him dead. Then it appeared on Mia's screen that a man from outside had attacked the housekeeper. This meant the man sitting here as Anderson wasn't Anderson at all. It was someone else. But Anderson also shot Halton. He told Choi, "Everything would have been easier if you had just died," and killed him. He took his device too. Anderson had only kept Mia alive so she could unlock her decoder. As Halton lay dying, he asked him, "Do you even know how many people you've killed today?" Anderson said, "You think this country gives a damn?" He said, "How many kids died fighting in Afghanistan, Iraq?" He believes that the USA was falling apart and that only those who care about America could save America. Anderson said, "It's a crusade." The Russian accent that Anderson's brother had pulled off was just to confuse them. Anderson said, "When your Pentagon is so worried about the Mohammeds and the Karlsruhes, you all forget to worry about the Smiths and the Johnsons." After this morning's attack failed, Anderson had used the agency's threat notification against them. Because of this, both devices ended up here on their own. Anderson shot Halton and dragged Mia to the side. Mia closed her eyes. She said, "You'll have to kill me." But Anderson bit Mia and forced her eyes open, holding them in place. He entered the gold code into the other device. Anderson locked a missile targeting Washington, D.C. He said, "Once we take back America, we will make it stronger." Mia asked him, "Who got into your head?" She said, "We can fix this." But Anderson said, "I'm doing this for my sister." Anderson's real name was Elijah King. Elijah said, "I couldn't save her, but the next kid that signs up will have it better than I did." Mia said, "Would your sister be proud of you? You're not a hero." Elijah's partner grabbed Mia and brought her near Reeves' dead body. But right there, Mia pulled out Reeves' gun and shot the man dead. He exploded. Mia also shot Elijah. She told him to turn off the missile. Mia shot Elijah multiple times and turned off the missile herself. Shortly after, Marshall's call came through in the supply room. Marshall said, "Copperhead, do you read?" This message was meant for Elijah. Just a short distance from this building, Marshall was handling everything from another building. He knew Elijah. This entire plan was his. And upon learning that Elijah was dead, they shut everything down and left. Now they would prepare for Plan B. This place would explode in a few moments. Mia saw Marshall leaving outside. Marshall blasted the building right in front of her. So Mia grabbed a gun and went after him. And with that, friends, this story comes to an end right here. Let us know in the comments how you liked this explanation. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.